pandemic, the second COVID wave. And now there was a part of the world who believed that the end of the pandemic. Now this new Omicron variant, which was found around 12 to 13 weeks ago in the South. Now around 100 million cases have been already reported to the UN agency. So these conditions, there is no end game for this pandemic, and the results also shows the condition seems to be more variants are upcoming. In the case of Delta variant, we have literally the whole global community has faced the second COVID wave along with the black fungus, which also a part of the second pandemic. The Delta variant has its subvariants of 200 variants, which is more transmissible than the earlier Alpha and the original Wuhan virus. Now this new Omicron, which is already proven to be 2 to 2.5 times more transmissible than the Delta variant. And let us be going to see many aspects of many reports which is related to the Omicron variant. But on the other side, there is a one question worldwide, which is when this pandemic will be over. Many around the world are pinning their hope on the vaccine. Even in the earlier stage, all the federal governments are forced make this vaccine as a compulsory for as a protocol to combat the diseases. But on the other side, it is proven to be it is not a quick fix. Even some part of the world, the people are protesting and they are not willing to be get vaccinated. Even if some people are getting vaccinated, scientists not yet proved that they said there was a possible of they transmitting the virus, even though they don't get back, they don't get infected by the virus. There may be a chance, there may be a medium to transmit the virus. So one thing is common, which is the virus is getting more and more stronger. So what is the vaccine? What is the result about the vaccine? The vaccines are still the same. Now the new studies say that this Omicron is easily able to evacuate the early vaccines, whatever it may be a dose of 1 or 2, it can easily evacuate and it can easily transmit the person even if they get vaccinated. So that is the current situation where the world is facing now. So what is happening to the health workers who are in the forefront facing this pandemic altogether? One side, around 10 to 15% of health workers are tested positive, even in India. So on the other side, who are like maybe like so-called safe, what is happening to them? They are forced to the suicide thoughts. Here the report says 1 out of 10 Australian healthcare workers have thought of suicide or health harm during the pandemic. Even the Somali healthcare workers suffer a high rate of anxiety, depression, and stress because of their work with the COVID-19 cases. It rates about 70% of workforce face the anxiety and 45% of people, the healthcare workers, felt the depression. So this is the case for the healthcare workers also. The World Health Organization also reported that these conditions now are seem to be more and more variants going to come and they are going to be more and more stronger than the earlier ones. Just by the case study of this Omicron, which is literally now in 100 countries within a few weeks, and many subvariants are already came across in the Omicron alone. So they want that the next variant could more easily avoid the immunity, rendering vaccines less effective. They caution that there is no grand guarantee the coronavirus will get weaker as it evolves, and that although the world must hope that the case, we cannot bank on it. This is a statement from the Dr. Maria, the Chief Executive Officer, the Chief Doctorate in the World Health Organization. So they also suggested that this impact of COVID will be felt for decades. It is not just for these 3 years which the pandemic is going on and we are still facing the solution, finding the solution for this pandemic. Since now, till now, this Delta, the second wave itself is not take moved out of the community. On the other side, Omicron is literally taking over the community now. So the World Health Chief said that the impact will be felt among the most vulnerable groups, and the longer the pandemic drags on, the impact will be worse. It may be in the health conditions or the whole economy of the country will be collapsed because of this coronavirus. As we all know, many of the development projects and already forced the lockdown to combat the diseases, which is decision taken to combat the diseases. Many of the protocol which was followed by the governments becoming redundant now. Starting from the wearing mask, 6 feet distance, social distance, and 14 to 10 days quarantine, all are becoming redundant one by one. One by one, the results shows wearing the mask for continuous days may be a chance for getting the virus. On other side, 6 feet distance, social feet distance, which was the initial protocol, which was followed by all across the globe, it has become redundant now. Once the virus becoming the airborne, now it is able to transmit its to around 600 square feet. So it is the case, in this case, the 6 feet social distance become redundant now. And people are started developing multiple sub diseases which is related to the COVID-19. Especially in India, the reports also said now in the current state where they have 43 million cases and already reported 1 million deaths have been already reported in India. The reports also said there may be a chance of booming up of this COVID-19 in the next 8 to 10 weeks. This is the statement from the state government of India. Now this subvariant of BA2, which is in the Omicron, is literally taking over the BA1, the original BA1. Already the BA1 is proved to be 2 to 2.5 times faster and deadlier than the Delta variant. Now this BA2, which is spread more than 1.5 times than the BA1. Here you can see the graph how BA2 is taken over. You can see that India, which is almost 100% filled with the Delta variant, and slowly the BA and BA 1.1 has literally slowly taking over the country. And now the current situation, which is the BA2, which is already proved there is no vaccines going to help in spreading of this BA2. It is literally taking over the country now. It is not only it is across the globe, and it is already proved that it is more transmissible than all the virus. And now this BA2 is in almost more than 100 countries now. Now here we're going to see the one more report which really shocked the whole world, which is two-thirds with the Omicron says they had the COVID before, which means people who got the COVID before and they got treated and then out of the COVID and they getting the Omicron, the new variant again, which means no vaccine is going to help us in this lineage of this virus. So these findings from the large community study just says that people are likely to get the COVID again. They include the healthcare workers and households. The children are a lot of members under a single roof. This report, that study was done on the 100,000 polymer chain reactions on the people, and out of that 4,000 were positive, and when they tested, which sequence tests went on, and it is proved all of them are Omicron, and all of them said they had the Omicron, other variants, Delta, either maybe Delta or Alpha. They had a COVID strain before. So now the chance of getting the Omicron is getting increased now. This is the current state of the world we are now. And also the report says till now the Delta is not moved out of the community now. So we should consider two pandemics going on together, which is by Delta and by the Omicron variant. And also there is new cove which is found in the recent days. They found the new variants also in India. So in India, they also suggested there may be a chance of black fungus coming back again. You remember, like if you went through all the agencies, around 6 months before, the whole world, especially in India, they've spoken much about the black fungus, which may cause the mucormycosis, which can causes the blindness, organ dysfunction, and it can make the body tissue dead, and it will move the people to the dead. So they said there may be a chance of black fungus also coming back again. So this is the current world where we can understand the reality of this COVID virus is spreading and it is still in the ground. As we have discussed before that 14 days quarantine become redundant. Here the news which says the virus which caused the COVID-19 person can move transmit more than 200 days in a typical case. About 8% of people infected by the COVID virus are able to transmit the virus for more than 2 months, which is literally more than 60 days. This is the reality now. Here, Devi has given the multiple solutions to combat the diseases, starting from the multi-layer quarantine. Here, Supreme Court of Hinduism also said why there is so much of loopholes in the quarantine, which is followed by all the globe. Yes, once the pandemic has started, all federal governments have imposed the lockdown, but the cases are not came down. Still, the cases are in the peak. So there may be at some point where all these loopholes are jointed and there is still the case are high. Here, starting from the multi-layer quarantine facility, and Devi Parashakti herself is blessed each one of us with the Vaideswara Linga, which is in Adi Kailasa, which supreme part of Hinduism installed 12 years before, thinking of this pandemic before, and Devi has blessed. It is not only going to save the people, it can even cure the people who got COVID. Here, Devi has given also the 8 simple ways, the conscious solutions for each one of us to get away from this pandemic. So let us listen to the Devi's revelation.
Parashodasi Meenakshi, Parameshwari Meenakshi, Parashakti Meenakshi, இங்கு எழுந்து அருளினோம் எல்லோர்க்கும் ஞானமும் தன்மையும் தந்திட நன்மையெல்லாம் அளித்திட நாமே வந்தோம் இங்கு கைலாசத்தின் சுவாமினியாய் பரமசிவன் கிரகத்திருந்து நம் அனுக்கிரகத்தினால் நித்யானந்தன் விக்கிரகமாய் மலர்ந்தோம். உங்கள் எல்லோருக்கும் நல்லதை செய்திட, நன்மையை சொல்லிட, தர்மார்த்த காம மோக்ஷம் எனும் புருஷார்த்தங்கள் நாளும் பொங்கி மலர்ந்திட வந்தேன் இங்கு. மாந்தர்கள் கொடுந்தொற்று கொரோனா கண்டு அஞ்ச வேண்டாம். 8 வழியின் மூலமாகவும் எண்ணத்தில் தியானித்து என்னை பிரார்த்தித்தல் ஒன்று, சமூக வலைதளங்கள் மூலமாய் என்னை சரணடைதல் 2, எங்கெல்லாம் என் மகமாரி வடிவத்தில் நான் குடிகொண்டிருக்கின்றேனோ அங்கெல்லாம் பூமிதித்து என்னை வழிபடுவது 3, நெஞ்சில் மஞ்சள் தடவி வேப்பம் சாரருந்தி தினந்தோறும் என்னை தியானிப்பது 4, நிர்விகல்ப நிலையிருந்து நித்யானந்தத்தை நிறைத்து உயிர்வது 5, சிவ 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 எனும் பிரபஞ்ச பெரும் நாதத்தை அஜபா ஜபமாய் நிகழ்த்தல் 6, நிறைவான பூரண மனத்தோடு வாழைப்பழத்தோலும் வெங்காயமும் குதிகாலில் வைத்து பத்திட்டு நித்திரையில் அடங்குவது 7, பூரணமாய் பரிபூரணமாய் அருணாச்சல ஸ்மரணையில் நினைப்பும் மறப்பும் அருந்த உணர்வு ஸ்மரணையில் அகம் அகம் என ஸ்புரிக்கும் அருணாச்சல ஸ்மரணையில் ஆனந்த ஸ்புரணத்தில் இருப்பது 8 எனும் 8 முறையிலும் என எண்ணியோர் அத்துணை பேருக்கும் இல்லை கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் தாக்கமும் கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் பயமும் கொரோனா கொடுந்தொற்றின் மயக்கமும்.
Let us see the translation of what Devi has given as the 8-way solution for suffering for those people. Devi has said, "Oh humans, don't be scared of deadly infected coronavirus." So this 8 ways, even if you follow any one of these ways authentically, Devi has blessed each one of us. We will be saved from this pandemic. The first is praying and meditating on me, Devi Parashakti, surrendering to me, Devi Parashakti, through the social media. Wherever Devi Parashakti is residing, worshipping Devi Parashakti by doing the fire walking, applying turmeric in the chest, drinking neem juice, and meditating on Devi Parashakti every day. Being in the unclutched state, filling with eternal bliss, doing ajapa of the cosmic sound, Shiva, Shiva, and Shiva. With complete mind applying banana peel and onion in the field and going to sleep. Being in the state beyond any remembrance, forgetting Arunachala Sthana that blossoms as Aham Aham in the state of Ananda Purna. If He has blessed each one of us by doing any one of these 8 ways, we will be saved and blessed to be away from this pandemic. So, with this, we come to the end of this segment where we have seen the revelation of the Devi Bhakti and we have seen the solutions given by the Devi Parashakti also. So, with this, we'll be moving on to the next segment where we're going to see the multiple offerings to Devi Parashakti. Short break. Request you to stay tuned. Nithyananda.
Just be alive for next 3 years. Don't die within next 3 years. I guarantee you, I will reach you wherever you are. Be alive, somehow be alive for next 3 years. I will reach you wherever you are, whichever corner of the world you may be. I will reach you with enlightenment. It's my commitment to humanity. I'm going to empower, enlighten each and every one of you with the fuel and energy of the parallel universe. I'll infuse this intense supernal effulgence DNA, Tejas, Ojas, Kundalini Shakti into your spine to consciously lift you to Maha Kailasa. It is irreversible permanent enlightenment, irreversible power manifestation, irreversible permanent empowerment.
Since the beginning of time and space, Bhagwan Paramashiva, the all-powerful, all-pervasive, and all-knowing ultimate superconscious existence, revealed in the Vedas and Agamas, the source scriptures of Hinduism, the truths about himself and the manifested universe and its multidimensional and simultaneously existing dimensions and worlds, also known as parallel universes or vertical time zones.
त्रुट्यादि प्रत्ययस्यार्थ कालो माया समुद्भवः. The Kala Tattva, which gives rise to the knowledge of various time zones and parallel universes such as Truti and others, is originated by Ananteshwara from the impure Maya.
Bhagwan Paramashiva mentions that as we experience the various higher states of consciousness, we simultaneously experience the various time zones associated with them. we get transported to the parallel universes and experience the other dimensions of our own existence, of our own personality.
Listen, Subarloka is all about stable bliss, absolute health and stable bliss. Maharloka is all about the highest peak possibilities. Jana Loka is the place where you can exist in multiple bodies at a time. You experience oneness as the super reality. Tapaloka is that last struggle you go through. Sometimes you know you are Paramashiva, sometimes you just slip off, but again you say, I am Paramashiva. That space is the Tapoloka, an absolute surrender. Whether I am remembering, I am manifesting Paramashivatva, or I am deluded, I surrender both to Paramashiva. When you take that decision, you are lifted to Brahmaloka. You move to the Brahmaloka. The deep surrender lifts you to Brahmaloka. Then from there, you move to Parandama, Vaikunta, and Kailasa, then Mahakailasa itself.
The key to unlock these parallel universes is hidden in the spine of the human body.
Human beings, only human beings on this planet Earth are empowered, hardwired, capable of migrating to parallel universe. Understand? Your spine is not only hardwired, capable of fueled, charged to lift you off to different parallel universes.
Sukritan manavo bhutva jnani chen mokshamapnuyate chaturashitalakshishu sharireshu sharirinam namanusyam vina yatra tattvahanantu labhyate. Of the 8.4 million bodily forms, the human body is the most important, for it is this form in which one gets knowledge of the essence. This knowledge of essence cannot be attained in any other form other than human.
The possibility you have need to be told to you. Understand? Even though animals have spine, because the majority of the time they spend horizontally, the spine is not capable of getting fuel with a subtle fuel called ojas. The ojas need to be filled in your spine, and the kundalini need to be ignited for you to reach parallel universe and different vertical time zone spaces.
When our state of consciousness is raised, we start experiencing these higher lokas, allowing the various possibilities and powers available in these universes to start expressing in our own human body.
Recently, scientists have discovered that the human body, particularly in the brain, naturally produces light in the form of biophotons, and that when our state of consciousness is lifted, the brain moves from producing a normal 20 photons of light per centimeter square per second to more than 100,000 photons of light per second. That shows us that as we start to experience higher and higher states of consciousness, we start to produce huge amount of light, which is directly proportional and translatable to the amount of possibilities and powers that start to manifest on this plane, as well as the freedom from pains and sufferings experienced by beings in lower states of consciousness.
These higher lokas gives you various possibilities, powers. For example, imagine, visualize you going to a different country where the electronic gadgets are easily, freely available. So naturally, everything you can gain through the electronic gadgets will be available to you freely. Same way, Kamadhenu, Karpagavriksha, Parijata, all these are like different gadgets, possibilities available in different lokas. Please understand, a permanent, irreversible power manifestation from the upper lokas is possible.
Once these possibilities and powers start to express in the human body on the Bhuloka, our present plane, we reach a point of no return, where the cognitive shift which happens in us about who we are and what is the reality hidden behind this perceivable world frees us from the deluded ideas we have about ourselves and the life in the cosmos.
The moment your consciousness is empowered to access and to exist in the parallel universe, no force in this Bhuloka, planet Earth, can torture you, abuse you, suffocate you. It is irreversible, permanent enlightenment, irreversible, permanent empowerment.
In the source scriptures of Hinduism, the Vedas and Agamas, Bhagwan Paramashiva reveals about the importance of being initiated by a guru who is fit of giving initiation for us to raise into the various states of consciousness and experience the higher time zones.
शक्तिपाता पवित्रितैः